need like a montage of like Sammy
Yeah, I do. It's like a video.
Get Sammy doing the crazy, you know.
I agree with you. I really do. I agree. I need help.
Every time the radio moves, you know we say it right.
Hey, y'all. I know the thing is in the middle.
Not to the ceiling. Lord knows, it's just a fan that the world goes. We move as the world goes.
All right.
Now we.
Listen, people, what we have here in the middle is what we're going to be talking. Well, one of the things we're going to be talking about. But let me take this down. Bear with me. If you guys don't know who I am, I'm Top Rope Squishy. I am half of the Top Rope Squishy brand. My husband, who is in the back end, you guys know, no neck, bone tone. He is the reason why my lights always look perfect. But we're not here really to talk about me. I would love to introduce my guest today, Mind Runner. It's actually a shame that I haven't put you on the show sooner, so apologies.
Sorry, like a fine wine, you got to let it not simmer, but you got to let it savor for a while. But no, it's just long time listener, first time caller.
Yeah,
here, long time fan.
I absolutely love this guy. He has been so supportive of my show. He's the reason why I have an amazing graphic for the hot seat. And if you guys look at my Twitter, I keep something pinned there that he gifted me, which is a clip from Sammy Guevara, basically telling me not to quit my show, which I thought was amazing. I really appreciate you. I have all your links in the description about your show, the for Mondays, the Mental Health Mondays. But please talk about that. Give people a little bit about your show and what you cover and what it's about.
Absolutely. And first of all, thank you for finally, the Mind Runner has arrived at Top Rope Squishy. If you smell, right, I can't quite do the eyebrow though, so. But seriously though, I'm really excited to be here. I've been a huge fan of yours for so long. I'm hoping you also bring the predictions back too. Perhaps maybe that is going to come back at some point. But I've been a huge fan, and it's one of those things where just as far as the Sammy cameo thing is that I really felt compelled. Just it was because he was talking about stuff on his vlog how. His journey parallels a lot of us in that he could have quit at any time and he didn't, and he does what he loves. And it's one of those things, if you do what you love, that's all that matters. And I felt like sharing that, and look at you now crushing it. Top Rope Squishy. It's been awesome. Now, Mental Health Mondays is a project I've wanted to do for a long time. And especially now, where talking about mental health is a lot more open and socially acceptable than it has been in the past. And I feel like sharing everybody's stories, I am working on getting some like professionals on there, doctors and whatnot, but also I think just all of us just hearing each other's stories and how we all kind of struggle at different levels. A lot of us have a lot in common. And I think the more stories that get out there, then hopefully it helps others. And I'm also looking sometime in the next month or so, perhaps, to have a certain Top Rope Squishy guest on. I don't know. My people got to get hold of her people, but I'm working on that.
I promise.
We'd love to have you on. And of course, no neck tone. Is it no neck tone or no bone tone?
No neck bone.
No neck bone tone.
The tongue twister. It's a tongue twister.
No neck bone tone. We need that on the next mug. No neck bone tone. No, it's awesome. I also do an educators podcast. As an educator myself, we talk to other teachers, what's going on in the education system, the good, the bad, and we're glad it's summer kind of mentality. But of course, both of those podcasts tend to sometimes get into wrestling if my guest is also a wrestling mark like me. So it's great to actually just be on here and just completely talk wrestling with the supreme. I got to go this way with the supreme queen herself, Top Rope Squishy.
Oh my goodness. I promise I will get on your show.
Mm-hmm.
I'll tell you off camera why my schedule's been crazy. But I've been dying to be on your show. I know you've had some nice guests. I know Lou was on there, which was
Lou!
Mickey Ruckus was on there, which I think was amazing. I love Mickey Ruckus. Great. Yeah, he's really awesome. And that's cool because he's super busy. So yeah, so getting him on the show I was like, wow. But the links are in the description, y'all. So there's no excuses. You can't say you don't know who Mindrunner is. And also in the description, right in the beginning, there's a number and a link to, help if you are going through a mental crisis and you need to talk to someone ASAP. I think they're 24 hours, 7 days a week. So,
that's huge that you have that. That's huge. Yeah. And again, it's nowadays, there's a lot less stigma. There's no crime in reaching out for help. Even if you think, I can tough it out. I don't know. Just reach out and talk to somebody. You might be surprised. I mean, it just whenever you get to that point, please reach out and talk to somebody, anybody. But there's your number right there.
Exactly.
Courtney, what's up, girl?
Courtney was like one of the first fans of the show, along with my sister, who's supported me in everything and anything I've ever done my entire life. So, nothing like a nice sister and sisters, even if they're not, blood related like Courtney.
But you need that support network, though. You do need that support network.
Absolutely. I like my little core group of fans.
Is this the Maddie Appreciation Society? Is that what this is? Do we need to all start wearing matching suits? And
absolutely not. There's no I in team, so no. But anyway, we have so much to cover. Starting with Dynamite, then we're talk in between Dynamite. We're going to talk about Collision, and we're going to end it with a little bit of Forbidden Door, and of course the hot seat, which you're not getting away from. So
what? I might have to leave early. I have this thing I got to do.
No, my show is not that long. No excuses. But y'all, what did you think, Mindrunner, of yesterday's show? I always ask people what they rated from 1 to 10.
Tremendous. And I almost have to kind of shift my scoring recently. And I don't think it's just him. But I feel like ever since Will Washington has been hired, and I think part of it is just he's filling a spot that's allowing other people to take it off their plate. But his position, like I felt like the storylines have gotten a lot better. Like it almost feels like old school AEW, which is crazy to say because it's not even 4 years old yet. But like if you know what I mean, like where it's like there's things happening, there's pieces, different storylines overlapping a lot better. And I feel like that was kind of really the point where, not that it ever was terrible or bad, but I feel like AEW's really been stepping up lately. And I felt even Double or Nothing was great. But last night's show, I felt like was tremendous. I would give it a 4.5 out of 5, maybe a 5 in the Tokyo Dome, but I definitely would give it a 4.5. And even like it just flowed. It was a great mix of matches throughout that I felt like it was great.
Yeah, I scored on a 10, like from 1 to 10, and I gave it a 9.5. So I guess we have the same score.
Yeah, I'd go as far as to say 9.5.
Yeah, it was freaking amazing. I do think that Will Washington's presence there is finally being felt. I really like him. I've spoken to him prior to him becoming famous. I had him on my show. I was on his old show before he joined Grapsody. So he's come a long way. He's been podcasting, I think, since he was 17. So this is a guy who I refer to him, and you probably hear a lot of other people refer to him as an encyclopedia of wrestling because his memory for it is ridiculous. So, I listened to his Unrestricted podcast today. He was the person that got interviewed by Aubrey. Aubrey's my favorite ref, so I totally enjoyed that podcast today. Yeah, but for people who don't know him or don't know his background, it's great to listen to it. And also he speaks on how he got into AEW. So
well, it was because he got the Maddie rub is what he did, is what happened. You know, he got the Maddie rub, and now look at him. Look at his success.
I wish. But I wish him all the best because he is really like an indication of what happens when you stick to it and you don't give up.
Yes.
Look how far he went. Like, this is crazy. You're at the tippy top right now. You're working with Tony Khan in a professional promotion, and you got your own all elite graphic. And only one other person that's part of administration has gotten that, and that's Amanda Huber. So that's huge. But anyway, it opened with a banger. It ended with a banger. Woo. We started with MJF. Love the scarf, as No Neck Bone Tone said.
That's right.
Versus Adam Cole. This match was freaking entertaining. I love MJF matches. I'm sad he doesn't do more of them, but it was wonderful to see. It ended in a freaking draw because, of course, right when the ref, Bryce Rimsberg, was about to hit the third slap down, the bell rang. They ran out of time. And, you know, Adam Cole took the mic and he was like, 5 more minutes. And I'm like, MJF gonna give you shit because he's not gonna give you a chance to beat him. And that's exactly what happened. What do you think about that match? Because I thought
it was tremendous as well. Of course, at the end, I'm looking up at the ramp waiting for Tony Khan to come out and say 5 more minutes. I approve, book it, or, you know, go for it or something. But that didn't happen. And I'm kind of glad it did because we've got to stretch out this Adam Cole MJF feud. Now, I will say this, as incredible as it was, I felt like there were times I couldn't tell if Adam Cole was selling or was he legit hurt in some cases, because I know that the storytelling was that MJF kept going for his arm. And I think that was the storytelling was that he was going to continue to work that arm and try to injure it. But there were a couple times where it really kind of looked like Adam Cole was kind of out there, like, and almost like it was he reconcussed or was something going on. And just watching MJF kind of go to the ref and go here and go there, it looked like he was kind of telling people stuff. But regardless, it was tremendous. And I don't think it was really, I mean, to most people, it you couldn't even tell. And kudos to MJF, because I feel like as the character MJF, he's the ultimate heel. But I think as far as a professional, he's the real deal. And I think he really cares about the people he works with. And I think he really has a way of working through those kind of things. But tremendous match. This has been a match that I've been excited for. And I'm glad it ended this way, because it would have been difficult. I think any other outcome would have tainted it one way or the other. But now we can revisit this at a future date and probably go all the way into, who knows? We'll probably get it at All Out or maybe All In or something along the lines. But this could be a feud to develop for a long time. But I thought it was tremendous, and I thought MJF played his role well. Adam Cole knew what to do. Everybody knew their role, and it was great.
Yeah, I thought after he got the pile driver outside on the edge of the ring that it was a little weird, and I was like, "Oh my God, is he hurt again?" But I'm that person that always gets worked.
Oh shoot. Eddie Kingston gets me all the time.
I'm always worked. It doesn't. My husband's like, "You getting worked again?" I'm like, "Probably." So, so you know, I think they're working the crowd because they know that everybody's just like, "Please don't let him land on his head. Please don't let him." You know. And when it comes to working the arm, that is MJF's style. He's a technician. He'll grab one part of your body, and that's where he's going the whole match. He's done it to everyone he's wrestled with. If he decided your ankle is going to be fucked, he goes after your ankle the whole match in every which way possible. He's so good at it. I love his matches. I'm mad that this has only been his 5th match since his 207-day title reign.
But just think about that though. It's kind of like the McRib. McDonald's doesn't offer the McRib all year long because of the hype when it does show up. Now, again, comparing the MJF to the McRib could be a problem, but what it is it builds anticipation. So when you do get an MJF match, you're like, you know, you're excited for it. I think.
Yeah, you're right.
But I'm with you.
Right after that, CM Punk came on.
Yeah.
Yes. And anybody who knows me knows I don't hate CM Punk. I don't go online talking shit about him. I'm just not a big fan because I didn't follow like WWE when he was big over there and had all these amazing fans. And when he dropped that pipe, I'm like, I was just not in wrestling at that point. I had taken a break, a long, long break. And so when he got to AEW, I didn't know who he was. I had to Google him. I was like, who the hell is CM Punk? And I had people like online asking me if I was crazy. Like, are you crazy? And I'm like, I'm serious. Like,
yeah.
I was out of it for 10 plus years. And this is when he was big. So, you know, I was starting to get into him. And then the scrum happened. And I'm like, God, what a douche. But for everybody who loves CM Punk, congrats. You know, I'm glad you're getting him back. The same way I felt when Chris Statlander came back. The same way I felt seeing Thunder Rosa announced for Collision. I'm extremely happy. So I'm not going to shit on anybody that's enjoying his return. But he did say he has things to get off his chest. I am kind of interested to see what the hell he has to say. But this is so far the lineup for Collision on Saturday with the main event on top. You got CM Punk and FTR going up against Jay White, Juice Robinson, and Samoa Joe. Wardlow will be defending his TNT belt against Luchasaurus. You got a tag team between Tony Storm, Ruby Soho, and Sky Blue, who's being pushed to the sky, with Willow Nightingale, who is the NJPW's Women's Strong Champion, inaugural champion. Andrade El Idolo is back.
How you know?
He's going up against a member of the House of Black, and Miro will be in action.
Yes, the Medina.
Fucking lineup. Holy shit.
This is tremendous. Tony's not playing. Tony Khan is not playing around. This is great. At first, I was kind of like, because you can't really build towards just a CM Punk return. I mean, granted, you know, his first arrival generated a lot of buzz, but this time, I think Tony Khan knows it's 50-50, but that card is going to be tremendous. And so, what's he doing? Oh, Andrade's going to wrestle. Oh, I don't know. Buddy Matthews.
Yes.
What?
Yes.
What?
When I saw that, I was like, oh my God. Like, you know, my husband had called Collision the Troublemakers show, and it is.
Yes. Yeah.
It is. Really.
It's like AEW detention.
That's exactly what he said. Those were his exact words. He was like, those are the bad kids you see in school, always in trouble. So, yes. And I didn't want to admit that because, of course, my girl Thunder Rosa is part of Collision. And I'm like, she's not a bad girl. But, you know, maybe she is a bad girl. But I don't care because, look, the lineup that we have. We've been missing these wrestlers, and now we get to have them. So, of that match card, which one are you most looking forward to?
Yes. That's my answer. Yes. No, because I'm looking forward to the whole thing. But I got to say, let me clarify, though, because there's so many. And again, you know, Will Washington got the dream job that all of us armchair bookers want. Armchair booker, mind runners sitting here thinking, okay, how are we going to do this? You know, House of Black, Andrade, could that lead to perhaps House of Black versus the Ingobernables or whatever with Roosh and everybody?
Yeah.
Now, there's no Thunder Rosa on the card. There's no Thunder Rosa on the card.
No.
But we've got Willow and Sky Blue.
Yes.
Both are Thunder's people.
Yes.
Versus the Outcast. If the Outcast try some shenanigans at the end of that match, who do you think might be coming
Thunder's
out?
coming out. So I think she wasn't like booked for that show because I feel like she's at the tail end of her recovery.
Yes.
So she's going to start making little appearances. I believe you are right that we are going to see her on Saturday, but I think it's going to be a couple of weeks before she wrestles.
Yeah, she's not going to be in the ring, but I think we're going to hear the Thunder Rosa, and the crowd's going to go crazy. Now, let me ask you this. I feel like they've because everybody's been saying, a lot of people have been saying and wanting this blood and guts women's match. Outcast versus the OGs. And people have mixed feelings about can Britt Baker and Thunder coexist.
Yes.
And I think, by the way, Cactus Jackhausen, we did have Flat Saraya there. They did have Flat Saraya.
Yeah, they did.
But I think they're building to that blood and guts. And I think it would be tremendous to see, tremendous storytelling, to have Britt and Thunder forced to have to team up, because they really played up the whole Britt and Thunder drama on the All Access. They built all this up. Imagine Britt and Thunder face to face in the big cage for blood and guts, and they look at each other and they have this stare down like this, and then they realize, we can't fight, we have to fight them, and then having to put their differences aside. I think that would be tremendous. And yes, I think Thunder Rosa's coming to town.
Yes. I believe because they are professionals that they're going to work it out regardless, because they know that their feuds sell. And when they did that lights out match, they already couldn't stand each other. And look how phenomenal that was. They trust each other enough. They're professional enough to trust each other with things that can kill you. Mm-hmm. So I do believe that that's going to happen. Tony Khan knows money. Tony Khan knows what sells. Exactly. Yes. And to me, a Britt Baker Thunder Rosa feud, especially now, is going to be something that everybody's going to want to tune in for. I know I will. Mm-hmm. And I'll be rooting for my girl. I like Britt Baker, but I'll be rooting for Thunder, of course. But yeah,
it is possible to be a Britt Baker and Thunder Rosa fan. Absolutely. I know that's hard for people to realize, but you can be both. You can be both. And they both, like, the one thing they do have in common is they both do want to lift up the women's division. Yes. You know, Thunder Rosa lifts up everybody she works with. You know, even some of the ones that don't really appreciate it. You know, I mean, Evilise, but she does. But she lifts up everybody around her, and it's kind of like, hey, come with me. And so many people that are Thunder's people have been on Dark. If you know, that's where I discovered Maddie Rinkowski. You know, La Rosa Negra, Holiday. You know, everybody lifted up, and then Britt Baker. Yes, La Rosa Negra. I cannot booty shake like her, but good Lord, that's somebody that is probably one of the most underappreciated wrestlers out there in the indie scene.
The most amazing frog splash.
Oh,
so in case you haven't seen it,
Eddie Guerrero would be so proud. Best match, by the way, this is for everybody. If you want to look up one of the best matches, La Rosa Negra versus Masha Slamovich. I believe it was on. It was at Mission Pro. There's this one tope she does. She knocks Masha into the audience, grabs this guy's beer, takes a swig, and then dumps it all over Masha. But the whole match was tremendous. Whole match tremendous.
Mission Pro Wrestling. I saw it once live, 2021 in Texas, and I got to meet all those ladies. I got to meet Sky Blue. Interviewed Sky Blue with We Love Wrestling when she was only in Mission Pro, knowing she was going to have a tremendous future, not knowing it would be this tremendous.
Right.
Actually, that poster in the middle is the Mission Pro Wrestling poster.
Oh, cool.
That is Red Velvet, and that is Roche Chanel.
Yes.
Another
Bougie Reality Tag Team Champions. Her and Maddie. Love it.
That's right. And so we all appreciate what Thunder Rosa has done for the women in women's wrestling. A lot of people probably don't know that a lot of those women came from Mission Pro. Mm-hmm. You know, Red Velvet was wrestling in Mission Pro prior to coming to AEW. Like, that's tremendous.
And I think La Rosa Negra was her mentor too.
Yes.
Taught her, took her under her wing. So then if you ever get a chance, that match, Red Velvet versus La Rosa Negra, tremendous match and very emotional ending. Very emotional.
Yes. Yeah, it's like she was fighting. Yeah, she was fighting her student. She was fighting her mentor. But yeah, I've enjoyed pretty much a lot of the Mission Pro Wrestling matches that I've seen. The women do go hard there. That is where the Renegade Twins have come from. They were the first tag team champions. But hey,
Renegade fam for life.
Yes, I love the Renegade Twins. They're another one that you've seen in and out of Dynamite and AEW. So, just keep watching. Thunder Rosa's doing her thing. A lot of people, give her a lot of slack, but the truth is what you said. You can like two people that don't like each other. Like, there's a lot of people online that love the Young Bucks and love CM Punk, but why can't you like them both? Like, it's just crazy. Yeah. This whole this whole splitsism thing where you gotta be on one side or another. I hate it. Like, it's so stupid. So
I do want to talk about the CM Punk factor though, because that's going to be really interesting and delicate how they handle, because he's going to grab the mic. He's got stuff to say, and they're in Chicago. So I know they're going to lean on his fandom, but there's a lot of even Chicago fans, Full Tilt Deb included, who are from Chicago that have soured on him since the All Out Fallout, if you will.
Yes, and, I like that.
Or Muffin Gate or whatever. And I feel like not necessarily but I feel like there needs to be some sort of, even if it's part kayfabe, part shoot, there needs to be some kind of explanation. And I don't want to necessarily say apology, but it needs to be some kind. I know he won't apologize, but there needs to be some kind of like elephant in the room, addressing the elephant in the room kind of thing. Now, I've seen on Twitter, I forgot who it was, but I retweeted it and I tagged Lou and my boy Brent Ross in it. Here's a theory. This could be crazy. This may not happen, but Bullet Club Gold has still only got 2 members, regardless of what the Guns are doing. They're looking for another member. What if CM Punk turns on FTR and joins Bullet Club Gold?
You mean like on Collision, joins Jay White and Juice Robin? Well, that would be just phenomenal. I love those turns. I love it when people turn on people.
Imagine the heat. Imagine the heat if he turns on FTR has been defending him all this time.
Yes.
And because otherwise it almost seems like, but imagine that turn. And I mean, it's probably not going to happen, but I'm sitting there thinking that would be tremendous.
It's not going to happen in Chicago, but he's going to get booed in other places, and he's going to have to embrace the heel and to really get deep down and dirty with it. That would be a great twist, I think. So, and talking about turns, it looks like Sammy Guevara is finally turning on Jericho, and he is going full face again. The crowd, he's finally winning the crowd over. Having this baby girl has turned people, soft, which is great because I didn't understand the hate to begin with. But you know how people are. But this was a nice little segment where he was about to say something to the effect, and then Darby came out and interrupted him and said, "Get out of Jericho's ass. He's using you." Jericho came out pissed off, of course, telling Sammy to apologize. And in the end, Sting came out, and I think this is where it was leading. This whole thing was leading to a Sting versus Jericho, matchup, because they've never had one. They've never been in the ring against each other. I didn't even know that.
First time. And Jericho got me. He got me because people were asking about him versus Sting, and he retweeted, never going to happen, not interested. Totally shot it down.
We got worked.
We got worked. Oh, Jericho.
He's good at that. He is so good at working people. And when I started seeing, because he's done this before, when I started seeing the tweets about him saying it's never going to happen, I was like, oh, it's going to happen now. This is happening. So I was just like, I know the crowd was going crazy, but can we talk about Jericho's shoes?
Prince wants his shoes back, and he's not even with us anymore.
I said the same thing. I said he's wearing Prince boots. Although I think Prince's boots used to be like 4 inches. Those were like 2.5. But still, I didn't expect heels. When I saw the front, because I like sparkly, so I was like, "Ooh, sparkles, ooh, glitter," and then he turned sideways. I was like, "Oh shit, he has a whole fucking heel."
Jericho's the best. Those are the little details that Jericho's the best at. The spike jacket where he's got all the spikes from he looks like he's Beetlejuice. All the different things that he comes to the ring with, those little deep and they're too kind. I don't want to say annoy, because sometimes I think they're awesome, but it's to annoy on purpose. And that was just one of those little. It was actually Full Tilt Deb, my wife, that saw it first. She goes, Look at his shoes. Look at his shoes. And we all looked, and we were making all kinds of Prince jokes. It was great. It was,
I love it.
But Jericho is great at being Jericho.
Yes.
I mean, I know that it sounds redundant, but if you know, you know. He's the great, and whenever he gets that pouty scowl on his face, that's when I know it's the best. With
the little lips,
Sammy. Yeah, exactly. That's it. That's it right there. He gets that little pat, and oh, this is going to be glorious, and this is going to be great. And this now we're going to kind of get that Jericho Sammy breakaway. All Access had different effects for different people, but I think the person that looked the best out of that show was Sammy. It really helped turn a lot of people. Now, folks like us, I think you're the same way. Folks like us have always kind of really liked Sammy. I mean, we were when they came to Norfolk and he had his match with Bryan Danielson, we were equally as we were in the Sammy section. We were cheering hard for Sammy.
Yes,
and we were going nuts for him. So I think that a lot more people are coming around. It was very, and there were, you could even hear in his promo, there were like one or two people trying to start boos. But it was like nobody else in the crowd was going for it.
It's old already.
Yeah.
And Sammy's talked about it. I don't know, not everybody watches his vlog, but I am an avid vlog watcher. Like, I love his vlog.
Yeah.
Even though it's changed a lot throughout the years. I love a little snippet of him and Ty's life. Like, whatever. They're so cute. They really are in love. Yeah. And I'm just like, he has always talked about how hard it's been to deal with the hate, because he was getting real hate, like I hope you die type of hate. And I'm like, people are just so stupid. Like,
I love his mentality. Exactly. But I love his mentality. And I love that they would boo him and they would say all this crazy stuff. And then he'd get in the ring and shut everybody up and do the crazy like the I am crazy. He would do this crazy stuff, and they even try to, well, you still suck, but come on now. All right, if you're saying you still suck after some of the stuff after Tope off the top ladder, come on now. Yeah,
you would hear people booing him, right? And then when he would do the moves, they would start cheering like, ah! And then you hear boo, like they just catch themselves, like, oh wait, I'm not supposed to like him. So yes,
boo,
right? People have come around, so I'm happy for him. Honestly, yes, my husband was saying that if he was Sammy, he would have doubled down on the crowd and stayed a heel and been like, screw y'all. But I think Sammy loves being a face. He's really a nice guy. So
I think Sammy needs to turn face because another pillar is going to turn heel soon.
And we'll get that going to be Jungle Boy?
It's not going to be Jungle Boy.
You think it's Darby?
No, it's going to be, as Lou says, it's going to be Hollywood Jack Perry.
Oh, Hollywood Jack. Okay, excuse me.
Yes.
So Jungle Boy is going to become Hollywood Jack Perry. I also believe the heeldom is coming for him.
Yes.
So
they've teased it so bad. That was the last time he and Hook were in the No, the last time that he and Hook were in the ring, they've been teasing that, where Jungle Boy has the chair and he kind of just almost steps behind Hook. And there's that moment like, is this going to happen? And then no. And now this thing, he's taking on Sonata. Is it Sonata? I think his name is Sonata.
Sonata. We're going to talk about the Forbidden Door matches at the end, but yes.
But that whole thing with him wanting Hook in his corner, because I feel a little naked without a belt of my own.
He cut his hair.
Yes. I actually agree with Courtney.
Yes. I think
he's going to get a douchey man bun kind of like thing.
I mean, I know he has beautiful hair. My sister loves his hair. I think he needs to cut it and wear pants. Get out of the manties and go straight up black leggings. Yep. That look like leather, and just come out with his hair cut, get a fucking tattoo, and just come out as a fucking badass and just run through the whole damn division. I think so. So.
I agree. But
moving on. So we had, talking about Sting and Darby, there was an 8-man tag. It was Keith Lee, Sting, Darby Allin, Orange Cassidy in one team against the Mogul Embassy. If y'all don't know who that is, that's Swerve, Brian Cage, Toa Leona.
Yep.
And I can't remember. Khan.
Khan,
Okay.
yes.
Beasts, by the way. That Mogul Embassy
Unreal.
group are beasts. They lost, but I just wanted to point out that Brian Cage came out in honor of Sting.
Yes.
With old Sting makeup and gear. And I thought that was phenomenal.
Tremendous.
He took the Scorpion Death Drop from Sting and the pin, which I thought was also symbolic.
Yeah.
I loved it. I loved the match. It was all over the place, but you know what? It was beautiful. They're doing a lot for Sting because Sting is retiring this year. So
yes. Tremendous.
I don't have much to say about it.
I have a little bit more to say about it just because number one, one of the best things they did for all four of these guys was putting Swerve with the Mogul Embassy, and Prince Nana is becoming one of my favorite managers too.
It's really good.
He still owes me for that $100 I sent to him in the mail the other day. But the Prince Nana, if you watch BTE, you know what I'm talking about. But that whole dynamic is great. Swerve, I think, is probably one of my favorite wrestlers now of all time, not just in skill, but also in his ring awareness and his selling and how he, like, his facial expressions. He really understands the business, really understands the game. And I want that Swerve versus Adam Cole feud someday, please. But also, Orange Cassidy's still, he's there. That whole storyline where he's injured and everybody's like, is this going to be when he loses the title? Whatever. I still think that's working great. There's a lot of cool stuff. I'm not sure what's going on with Keith Lee, but I love the man anyways, and I'm hoping we build some more stuff with him. But did you notice, and I don't know if they came out, whether this was just a technical glitch or if this is setting something up, but I mean, if it was a technical glitch, an accident, they need to use that for something, Yeah,
I heard this wasn't the first time that this happened, and it was crazy because when that happened, I just happened to be going to the kitchen to get something to eat real quick. I have a big TV, so I was watching it from the kitchen.
Yeah.
But I must have looked away because it was only a few seconds when it happened. And then I saw some people on Twitter talking about it. And I'm like, the people that were talking about it, I'm cool with them, but they smoke. So I thought, it was really, really high. So they don't know what the hell that's, but yeah, exactly.
Yo, hey, Tony Khan's talking to me, man. I guess I'm not gonna.
It was there. Like, people actually put clips of it. I'm like, what the fuck is that? So yeah, I hope that they do something with it, even if it was a technical glitch. This is my husband making fun of Keith Lee. he looked like with the robe, like when Moses came down with the stone tablets. Oh, Tone, you're so bad. But anyway, moving on. Jake Hager went up against Wardlow for the TNT belt. I thought this was great because I know you've been, watching the show, and you know how much I can't stand the squash matches anymore with Wardlow. Yeah. I'm sick of them. We have seen what he can do. So why do you keep giving him these crap-tastic squash matches? So finally, they gave him somebody that can wrestle, that can go. And they had a decent match. It wasn't long, but it wasn't a squash. And of course, Jake Hager lost. He got powerbombed twice. But it was refreshing to see. And now we're going to get, Wardlow versus Luchasaurus part deuce, because if you guys don't know, they had a lumberjack match quite some years ago back in the pandemic that was phenomenal. Doing things that big guys like that you wouldn't see doing back in the days. It's just tremendous. So I'm really looking forward to that. I miss watching Luchasaurus wrestle in that way. So I think we're going to get a really good match between those two. But this was a decent match. I don't have much to say about it, but it was nice to not see Wardlow be Boardlow.
Not Boardlow. Now, but it says a lot, though. It says a lot about how he's been booked and how his matches have been, that this match against Jake Hager didn't feel like a squash match, but it really kind of was. I mean, I wouldn't say it was a squash, but everybody knew Jake Hager was not going to win. It really was a clear thing, and it was a good match. But it's like when you're so glad of having this, when the highlight of the match is that it wasn't a squash match, that says a lot about the Wardlow situation.
Yes.
Shout out to Full Tilt Deb. She thinks Wardlow needs to get the boy short singlet back again instead of this up the ass thing he's got going on. I'm not also sure what's going on with Arn and Brock. And,
yeah, that's true.
It was interesting that Brock wasn't there backstage with his dad beat up as well. And what's going on with that?
I think he got beat up too.
He got beat up the previous week.
Okay. All right. That's right. He got beat up. That's right. They left him in the locker room on the floor, or in a room on the floor. He was beat up. Right. Arn Anderson playing off the blood on the forehead thing was hilarious.
But leave it to Christian, though. Is Christian going to try to turn Brock against his own father or something? I don't know.
Probably will.
Yeah.
Because it's Christian heel Cage, and he's good at being a
Captain
heel.
Turtleneck.
Yes, he's really good at being a heel.
Yes.
Really good at being a heel. I was really impressed with the next match, which was the women's title match.
Yes.
It was Tony Storm, the champion, versus Sky Blue. Sky Blue is being pushed to the sky. No pun intended, but she actually could have had her if the ref wouldn't have been distracted by Ruby Soho. She cold blued her and she pinned her. And if you were counting like I count, like I'll be like, she had like 6 counts, so she could have. So I really loved the match because I can see the improvement on Sky Blue. Like, she's hitting harder. Her stuff is really, really slapping. Like, I don't like to see people wrestling when it looks like they're dancing.
Yeah, or unsure of themselves. Yeah.
Yes. That's a good way to put it. She is way more sure of herself. She's definitely been training. I don't know with whom, but she's definitely been training. I think my husband might have fallen asleep a little bit prior to this match, so he missed it. And I was like, "You missed the match. It was great. Like, it was a great match," and I was really impressed. Of course, even Sky Blue's mom got it. She got she got sprayed in the face. And Sky Blue lost, but it really was a great match. I am looking forward to the 4-way, the tag team in Collision, because I love Willow Nightingale. She really is lovely like that. That's another person that I've interviewed with We Love Wrestling.
Oh, she's so awesome.
Prior to her getting into AEW, becoming this big. She was just on the indies, and she is, when I tell you that's exactly how she is, the way you saw her on the All Access show, the way you see her when she's going like that, she really is that way. That's her. So I love her.
You can't not smile around Willow Nightingale. And I just her presence alone in the locker room, just not even saying a word, has got to be uplifting. And she's just like, there are few wrestlers that could never be heels. And I think Willow's one that I don't think you could ever make her a heel. I don't think it would be possible. I think kind of really touching on Sky Blue for a second here, watching her now versus her first few matches, she's come so far. You also see her doing a lot of reps. She's taking a lot of indie gigs. She's doing a lot of dark, like, house shows. She's doing a lot of she's investing in herself, and it looks like AEW is really stepping up and investing in her. And I love the gimmick where Tony went with the green spray and she had her blue spray.
Yes.
And got her. That was a great gimmick. And I think they tried that once before at a house show, but that was tremendous that they did that. And I think that you're right. They're pushing for Sky Blue. Also, come on, Tony. Now that you got Collision, let's get those women's tag titles out there. We need the Renegade Twins to get some gold.
I would love that.
I also love Willow. I do think that those spaghetti straps she had on had the super soldier serum to not break as she's running down to the ring, because they were holding on dear life, like, no wardrobe malfunction, please.
She's so cute.
She is. She's so cute. But I think it's tremendous. I think Willow's another one that they're gonna invest in heavily. Yes. I wouldn't say pillars, but because they weren't there at the beginning, but Sky Blue and Willow are future stars. They're kind of like Ricky Starks in a way that they're going to be people they build the program around going in the future.
Yes. And they're young.
Yes.
You got young talent like that's growing. You want to showcase them. And I believe that is what AEW is doing. And kudos to them, because when people start off in the beginning, they're not exactly stars, but we've been so blessed to watch people grow, like Jade, for example. It's just been.
It's funny you mentioned Jade. I showed you this before, but I got a special delivery
please
today.
Show it.
A storm is coming.
That thing.
A storm is coming. This is the exclusive at shopaew.com.
Look at
Not
that.
an official sponsor, but look at this. The Jade Cargill special with, even though it's not hers anymore, I could put it around Statlander, but there it is. And this is tremendous. And I got to find a place of honor in my man cave here to put it. But
I love it. That's one I have
so
to get.
Cool.
I have that bitch Jade Cargill t-shirt.
Yes.
But I don't have the doll. So I will be getting the doll. I will be also getting the Thunder Rosa doll, and I will be getting the Chris Statlander doll with the belt. I have a Chris Statlander without the belt.
Yes.
Courtney poses a question. Is Sky Blue better than Julia Hart?
Ooh, I think they have both progressed equally. I think that the best thing, I really liked Julia Hart's cheerleader gimmick when she first started.
Oh.
And I thought because here's why. She enhanced the Hollywood Blondes, or was it the Hollywood Blonde? No, the Varsity Blondes.
Varsity Blondes, yeah.
But they enhanced them, but they something just happened after, like, as we came out of the pandemic. They were hot at first, and I don't know if it was Brett Pillman or whatever, and then Garrison getting her, whatever, they just kind of fell apart. But the best move was when they moved Julia Hart in with the House of Black, and now she's this, like Nihilist calls her, an Instagram goth witch or something like that. I think it's tremendous, and she's just embraced it and ran with it. And shout out to Brody King. One of the coolest stories when you hear Brody King talk about it, I think it was with Unrestricted, but Brody King talks about how he and his wife kind of took Julia under her wing. Like I said, it was like, hey, I'm going to help you with your stuff. And then, like, they asked her, what kind of music do you listen to? And they're expecting like Taylor Swift or something. And she's like, she starts naming off all these like heavy metal bands and all these old school rock bands. And they're like, what? And so she really has embraced this character, and her moves in the ring have been tremendous too. And like, she's 10,000 times better than she was when she first started. I know she's a Rhodes Academy graduate, and I know that they really appreciate that. But that's another one. So to Courtney's point, I really think they both, in their own way, have progressed. And she's another one I would put in with the Willow and Sky Blue as people they could build the women's division of the future around.
Agreed. There's two people I think in AEW that benefited greatly from being moved out of their faction into a different faction. Julia Hart was definitely one of them, and the second person was Wheeler Yuta.
Yes. Yeah.
Forget it.
I love the best friends. I love the best friends. I love the dynamic, and I love that Stat is back with them. But Wheeler Yuta was, I dare say, a fifth wheel. With them, Wheeler. But they're just tremendous. And letting Wheeler get the pin over Kenny was
Moxley? Oh no, wait, he's in Moxley.
He beat Moxley.
That's right. He beat Moxley.
He got the pin over Kenny, and that was such a great. That is them tipping their hat. And it's controversial because I know I think you are too, but there's so many people that disagree with me on this. I'm not much of a Bryan Danielson fan as the wrestler. I don't enjoy his matches. Now, that's me. There's plenty of people that love him. There's plenty of people that hate the matches I love. There's plenty, and that's, we all can live together in harmony. Can't we all just get along? Right. However, Bryan Danielson, the person behind the scenes, not the character wrestler, behind the scenes, is probably one of the best things to happen to AEW, because he truly is lifting everybody. He's truly in everybody's ear. He's even getting Marina Shafir to a point where I kind of am okay with her.
That's going to take me a while.
She's got some work to do. But I think that he's really offering a lot of his advice and services, and he's really supportive, and just the stuff that he does and says, you can see his influence behind the scenes and how people are growing under his tree, if you will. And I think that I for whatever issues I personally have with his matches with him, just call me crazy. Just write it off as like, okay, that was a bad toke for you there, but like I really value him as part of the company, and I really hope that even if after he retires, let's be honest, he's going to be like Sting. He's going to be in his 60s coming out, the dragon,
match here or there,
the old dragon. But I think that he's really worked really, really hard with them. Plus, one thing I want to say about AEW is I think we all, AEW brought a lot of us back as wrestling fans who had bailed on WWE a long time ago. Mm-hmm. One thing I love about AEW is even if they sometimes are shaky when it comes to debuts, sometimes they hit or miss, they are the definition of wait and see. Because if you look at 2019 Britt Baker to today, if you look at 2019 Dark Order, if you look at a lot of these folks where they started to where they are now and how they're portrayed now. So a lot of these young up-and-comers, they're going to be those stars. We're going to be talking about them much like we're talking about Kenny and everybody right now.
Yes, I agree with you. 100%. Wait and see is Dynamite's way. They love to give surprises. So give Archer a title. So, I was reading something that Archer had written, and he said that he was hurt. And so this is why he wasn't going for the big matches and the big this and the big that's.
Was he hurt in his heart?
No,
I can understand.
He was hurt physically. Lou's here telling me, ponlo en asiento caliente, put him in the hot seat. We're about to get there. we got like about 5 more minutes before we
You're
get
a
to
sadist, Lou.
But yes,
Can I touch on Courtney's comment though about Lance Archer? Shout out to the Murder Hawk, by the way. Love the dude. It's interesting that he's had more New Japan matches than AEW matches. And it'd be funny if he came to Forbidden Door, he would actually be on the New Japan side pretty much at this point.
I think so. I love Lance Archer. I miss him. I miss seeing him on Dynamite and Rampage. But you know what? I guess if they bring him back, I want him back with a story where he's gonna win.
Yes.
Because I'm tired of seeing him come this close just to be dropped. And I you get tired of stuff like that.
Yeah.
But anyhow, Brian, just real quick on the Bryan Danielson thing, since we're about to talk about the main event. I'm with you. He's not like my favorite wrestler. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? His matches have been great, but they're not on my top 10.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what's one of my top 10 is Will Ospreay versus Kenny Omega. But we'll get into that.
Top city.
But that all is going to, be talked about in this main event because
crazy.
The main event was like, crazy. First of all, how you were saying, how can you make Willow Nightingale a heel? It's impossible. That's how I felt about Takeshita, and here we are. But anyway.
yeah, that's true. True. Yeah, good point.
Right? So the Hung Bucks, which is, Hangman and the Young Bucks together.
Did you catch, too, that they couldn't use Hung Bucks in their name, but on the little byline it said, we had another name, but it was too sexually suggestive? Yeah, I thought that was pretty...
They're very funny like that. They took on the Blackpool Combat Club, which was with Bryan Danielson on commentary. Mm-hmm. They're saving Bryan Danielson so he doesn't get injured before Forbidden Door like it happened last year. That is what's going on. You're not going to see him in any matches at all until Forbidden Door. But it was Moxley, Claudio, and Yuta. Okay. Yuta got destroyed and pinned. So, he ate it. He ate this one.
Yuta was like a rag doll for much. I mean, granted, he had some moments and they let him shine. They let him get his stuff in. But that first 5 minutes, Yuta's like they're laying him out and they're dragging him around.
They destroyed him. They're like, how we let you pin Kenny Omega? Now you're going to pay for it. We're going to whoop your ass in this match. And that's exactly what happened. His ass got whooped. But it's fine. If you have to pick out of that group, Claudio and Moxley, who's getting pinned? It's not going to be Moxley. It's not going to be Claudio. It's going to be Wheeler Yuta. But anyway, post-match, because the match itself was great.
tremendous. It was exactly what you would think a match like that would be. Tremendous.
Yes.
Yeah.
There was a lot of flipping. There was a lot of hard hitting. There was a lot of V triggers. I mean, it was just, a lot of super kicks. I loved it. I loved the match, but I didn't think it'd get better, but it did, because post-match, the BCC were doing their heel bully shit where they start whooping on the people who beat them. And who returns? Eddie Kingston comes out of nowhere and puts the beats on Claudio with a spinning back fist twice. Then the Young Bucks are trying to beat on Moxley. They were like, fuck, I want a piece of this shit too. But remember, Kingston and Moxley have a history of friendship. So he was like, don't do that, So then Takeshita came out.
Can I stop you for a second, though? That face-to-face between Eddie and Moxley. Because after he was beaten up, that was tremendous. That was such storytelling, because Mox, if it was anybody else, Moxley would have started beating the shit out of him, but it was Eddie, and there was one of those. It was almost like as if Kenny turns around and there's Ibushi or something. It's like that. There's that thing, and so that whole storyline is going to be tremendous going forward. But then Takeshita shows up.
Yes, and whoops. He whoops Kingston and the Elite. Then who shows up to whoop his ass? Omega, and gives him a fucking Snapdragon. Loved it. And then out of when I thought it was over, out of no fucking where, bruv, came out. Mr. Will Ospreay himself, who I think is one of the best wrestlers in the world.
Oh, tremendous.
People say that the American Dragon is the best wrestler. I think Will Ospreay is like top 5.
I agree. I say top 3. I will go as far as to say top 3.
Top 3. Hey, I don't disagree with you.
Yeah.
I flipped my shit when he came out. I was like, shit. That of all, every time somebody came out, I was pulling my hair out. And when Will Ospreay came out, I was bald. I was like, oh my God.
We woke the neighbors. Did you? Well, at first we didn't know who at first shot, it was just, we couldn't tell who it was at first. And then we saw the shoes were green. And then we went green. Okay. Aussie Open. And then sure enough, it was Will Ospreay. Let's freaking go. Let's freaking go.
This brings me to Forbidden Door. I know there's amazing matches getting shown, but this there.
Yes.
That's the one I'm looking forward to the most.
God, this could have been an All In. This could have been the Wembley Stadium match. But
maybe there'll be a part 3.
Ooh, could be.
They could do it.
Woo.
Look at that shit. Look at that graphic.
In my veins. Inject that in my veins, please. That is.
I'll take Will Ospreay versus Omega any day of the week. Give it to me every week. I won't get bored.
It's kind of like with me with the Elite versus Death Triangle. I'd love to see a best of 7, between the two of them.
They did do that, which was fucking great.
But it's just insane to see a best. It's like chemistry. You've got Kenny Omega, Will Ospreay. It's just like done.
This is just, and since this feud goes back to NJPW, oh my God. I know there's so many amazing matches and people are like, oh, what about this one? Sure. This is what people are calling the dream match. Bryan Danielson versus Okada. Sure. Absolutely. Yeah. I am definitely, but guess what? I'm more excited because Okada's in it.
I think fans of Danielson, big fans of Danielson, I can understand them being excited that one, because that's going to be a pure Danielson style match, because Okada is that kind of style. That's that same kind of thing. Yes. I think they're good. I think it's going to be a tremendous match.
It'll be a brawl.
But that's not the dream match that you and I are thinking of. That Will the Ospreay versus.
This is mine. That's
mine as well. Also,
I love this, but we also getting this right here. Are you fucking kidding me? We're getting Tanahashi versus MJF after all the shit he spoke to, and that was just a setup.
Of course.
For us to be like, oh, well, I guess MJF's never going to be on Forbidden Door. Even on Dynamite, he was like, oh, I don't care what Tony Khan said. I'm not doing that shit.
You
and
know,
the graphic up.
Yep. Well, they're going to build up to this thing where he's just going to say, I'm just not going to show up. And, Tony Khan's going to, they're going to build this whole thing up, and MJF's going to get out and he's going to hit the mic and he's going to be all arrogant and talk about how he's not going to show up. And then Tony Khan's going to come out and say, in this contract, in your contract, you either show up or you relinquish the title.
Yes.
And then you'll see, and then MJF will be the heel, like, no, you can't do that. And then of course he'll have to show up
anyway.
Yeah.
I don't agree with you, Courtney. Tanahashi's not taking the AEW championship.
Yeah, I have to disagree with that one, but again, anything could happen. I just don't see. I see MJF
happening,
hanging on to it for a while.
Yeah, if he didn't lose it at Double or Nothing, he's gonna hold it for probably until Full Gear. That's my because they're gonna build one of those three guys, Darby, Sammy, or Hollywood Jack Perry, to be the one to finally take it off him. And we have quite a few matches until Full Gear, and so. Quite a few months. And so that's when I think MJF's finally going to lose it. He's not going to lose it to Tanahashi.
Don't get me wrong. I think you could take the belt off of MJF at some point, but he's going to have it back, right? He's going to get it right back.
Yeah.
He's got to have the belt going into 2024 for that whole, the bidding war of 2024 drama. He's got to have it.
I see what you mean. But it would be boring to see him be a champ for over a year, just in my opinion. I like to see the belt switch every now and then, but not like hot potatoes, not like TNT belt, but a little more often.
Every now and then you got to throw that in there.
Yeah, once every 2 years, it's just too little switch over for me because their roster's too big and there's too many people vying for it. But this is the open challenge. Sonata issued an open challenge for the IWGP World Heavyweight Championship. And this is what you were saying that Jack Perry was talking about. Yeah, he has no problem tagging with Hook, but he feels like his shoulder's type of empty because Hook has a title and he doesn't. So he wants to go for one. Jack Perry might win this.
Could be. And or he perceives that Hook cost him the match. Whatever's you just could see it.
Part of his heel turn.
It's coming. Ever since Lou from the Bronx was talking about that with me on Wrestling is Trash, we were talking. It's now I see it, and I don't know if it's like I'm self-fulfilling prophecy or whatever, but I think other people are seeing it too. Just this whole he's got, even his promos are better. Yes. Like that promo he did on Dynamite, there's a little stank on it now. There's a little smirk. He's got a little spice on that.
He's a little spicy on it.
And I really think a heel turn is going to do wonders for his whole character because it's kind of he's been this kind of and now
that song has to go, by the way.
You could even see in the crowd less and less people are doing it. And some people are just half-assed like,
it's over. Like, it's time. He is one of these people that will benefit from a heel turn.
It'd be tremendous. And after this, he can feud with Hook and then maybe Ricky Starks.
Oh my God, that would be so good.
I think there's so much potential, but you can even see it in the graphic. He's got that kind of and the fact that they're including Hook in this whole thing, something's about to go down.
Something's gonna happen.
Yeah,
something's gonna happen, especially since he almost hit Hook with a chair. So wait for it. But do you know what time it is?
You can't do this. No, I have to go. I can't be part of this. No, how did you do this? No, you can't do this. I'm contractually not obligated to do this.
Listen, I went face to face for that clip. That clip was created by Mind Runner, and I appreciate it so much. It is the official hot seat clip. I love it. Woo! My husband loved it, and it goes so well with what we do here in the hot seat. So Yeah, so you're about to get 2 hot seat questions and a bonus question, which is what I do to everyone.
Oh no.
You know, and I put Lou through some real nasty questions last time. Yours are not any different.
Oh, really? Okay.
They're real nasty. I'm sorry. It's gonna happen. Sorry. So, like I always ask people, are you ready?
Do I have a choice?
No, you don't have a choice. All right. So here we go. Would you rather? I can't even say it. It's so nasty. All right, here we go.
Oh,
Would you rather smell like shit 100% of the time, but never smell it yourself, or have your significant other always smell like shit 100% of the time and always have to smell it?
Oh. Well, I mean, it's impossible for my goddess wife, Full Tilt Deb, to ever not smell like roses. So there's that. I would actually go with the smell like shit myself.
And put her through having
now let me ask you a caveat. I mean, I could use things to mask the odor, right?
Nothing will mask that odor.
Oh, they can't. So it's like done.
Yeah, you're gonna smell like shit.
Well, here's the thing. My wife will learn to live with it. No, what? She said nope. All right, you're getting the stinky ass. Then I'm gonna vote your stinky ass.
Hi, Deb.
She's yeah. All right. Yeah. Hey, how about you getting the hot seat next time, babe?
Yes.
Yeah. She said I'm doing just fine. Okay, wait. This is just the first question. I'm already in trouble. I know for real though. I gotta go with me smelling like shit. Because if I don't smell it, I don't have to smell it.
You don't have.
Then y'all are just gonna have to deal. I'll let my charming personality overpower the odor. You know, and I'll just give everybody nose plugs every time I go to see him. Yeah,
that's all it is.
I mean, and if I go to visit wrestlers at the meet and greets, I'm not going to be the only one smelling bad. I can tell you that much. I know that much. They're going to be some rank people ahead of me. Thunder's going to be like, well, you don't smell as bad as the last guy. So, yeah. So,
oh my God. Okay. Okay. Question number 2.
Wait, we're not done. We got more. Oh, all right.
There's one more hard one and then a bonus. The bonus is never nasty. The bonus is a thoughtful question.
Okay. All right.
Okay, but you're not there yet. You got to get through one more.
Ready? I feel like I'm on hot ones and I'm about to eat the bomb. I think that's
you're lucky this isn't like the beginning. I used to put people through like 5 or 6 of these, but here you go.
All right.
Would you rather be inside of a porta potty when it falls over in 100-degree weather, or have someone throw a used tampon in your face?
You sick, demented. What?
You said.
I think. What were the choices again?
You're gonna make me repeat it.
Yeah.
Would you rather be inside a porta potty when it falls over in 100-degree weather, or have someone throw a used tampon in your face?
Now, let me ask some clarifying questions. Can I duck the tampon?
No, it's going to hit you square in the face.
Juice and everything right in the face. All right.
Yes.
I've been in some bad. All right, let me tell you something. Porta potties at taco festivals are a no-go. Just let you know. Wait till you get home. Hold it because or if they're serving any kind of Indian food like curry. Oh, and I love curry. Here's the thing. I love curry. We even created but you'll see it again.
Oh my God. Porta potty, tipping over, use tampon in your face.
Jeez. All right, I'm gonna I'm going with. Damn, I'm going with tampon. Because for the sole reason that it'll be an easier cleanup because all I have to do is really clean my face. I'll yak and I'll be throwing up, but I will probably have to I don't know about the porta. See, the thing with porta potties is it's not just the shit. It's that whatever they try to put in the chemical they try to put in that covers the shit makes me want to throw up too. That it's like the nastiest urinal cake kind of. It's just like this chemical. So that combined smell being on my clothes, I'd have to burn
in 100-degree weather.
Oh, I'd have to now. I'm going tampon. I have to go tampon. I don't care if it gets in my mouth. I'd rather deal with that than 100-degree porta potty.
And people in the chat are agreeing with you, even though they were like, "What the hell's wrong with you? What kind of questions are these?" I told you, it's a hot seat.
Oh, it's hot seat. It's the puke seat. Oh goodness. Woo!
I don't always go nasty. Grateful. But it had to happen. It is what it is. But anyway,
this image of the
tampon, the noise it's gonna make when it hits you.
It's my time of the month. Oh. All right.
Tone said that I don't run these by him and I can't be trusted. Hey, Blackheart, what's up?
Hey.
That is so funny. I'm not gonna run them by him. He gets some hard ones too. Next time he's on my show, he's gonna get just as nasty ones. But anyway, the bonus question time.
Right, bonus question. There we go. You say this is not nasty.
No, these are not nasty. These are about thought.
Okay.
If you had to live the same exact day repeatedly until the end of your life, what would the perfect day from start to finish look like for you? Because it's going to be the same day over and over and over and over again.
Well, of course, it would be my wedding with my goddess wife. No, she wouldn't even want to relive that one. That was too much. It's funny because, like, if I could get a little deep, and we go there sometimes on Mental Health Mondays. We get deep and talk about gratitude, talk about all those kind of questions, really. And I actually would relive a day like in the last couple months, really, because I'm very grateful for where I am today. And it's funny because you think about regret. And you think about the things that happen in your life that leads you to become who you are.
Right.
Yes, I wish I was 100 pounds lighter. Yes, I wish I was 20 years younger. Yes, I wish there's so many moments, facepalm moments of my history, like childhood and adulthood, where I said the stupidest things at the stupidest time. Where that one time where I got the dream girl and I'm like, oh, hey, you play Nintendo? That kind of stuff. There's so many of those moments, but those moments not only build character, build who you are, but they also they shape your history. I would not have met Deb. I would not have gotten into the profession of education. There's so many things I would not have done had I not made those mistakes before. So I would relive any day from this past week. Actually, no, I relive Wednesday. It has to be a Wednesday because you know what that means. But I truly feel really blessed and grateful for how things are going right now. I mean, getting to know you, knowing Lou from the Bronx, shout out to Brent Ross, shout out to everybody. I'm in a good place mentally. I'm in a good place.
Same.
My only thing I need to work on now is my health, and I'm making moves towards that. Doesn't help that I married a Polish goddess who loves to cook carbs and loves and is an amazing cook. Marrying an amazing cook is awesome, but it could also have its downsides because you're like, all right, I'm gonna cut back and I'm gonna have a salad, and she's like, oh, but I made these tacos. I'm like,
huge plate.
Okay. Can I have 12? it's great. No, but seriously, I have no regrets. No regrets. And I think that I think I would shoot, and it would be a Wednesday because of Dynamite. And I know it sounds so mushy.
It is mushy, but it's beautiful.
But it's true. I really, I mean, and if you think about it, and I think I'm a big skeptic. I'm a big roll my eyes skeptic with a lot of the kind of the I don't know, the commercialized mental health stuff where it's like, hey, if you say gratitude or if you manifest, things will go great. Right. You got to have work too. I mean, and relationships need work, and you know this. But I think that I do think that for the truth, that being grateful for what you have in life and ever taking the time to appreciate where you are is very helpful to mental health. And from the standpoint of, I think sometimes we focus too much on what we don't have, and we focus too much on what other people have. And what I tell my students, and this is like academics too, because they get real stressed out about the SOLs and their grades and everything. I tell them, I said, only compare yourself to one person, who you were yesterday. Do your best always. Don't worry about what Billy or Sally's doing. Worry about, do something to be better today than yesterday. And I think if we all kind of strive that and try to put ourselves in each other's shoes, communicate better with each other. I really feel, whether you're a Bryan Danielson fan or not, I think the Brit fans and the Thunder Rosa fans can work together better. I think the WWE and AEW fans work better together if we learn to communicate. So I think we all really want the same things, but we get caught up in our emotional investment in our opinions, that we fail to step back and really see other perspectives. And not saying that there aren't some folks out there that are trash and evil. There are a few, but there are a lot less of those people than I think we perceive. I always, my grandfather had a great saying. He said, the emptiest cans make the most noise. And if you look on Twitter, often it's those idiots that are tweeting out the negativity, but it's usually the same idiots, and they're getting retweeted, and everybody's reacting to them, and you're feeding the trolls. So it's like a handful of people are getting the most attention. Yeah. But most of us are like, no, we'd rather love rather than hate. So anyways, that's kind of my answer there.
That's beautiful. Almost made you forget about the used tampon.
Oh, there. I don't even remember what the first question was. Oh, do I want to sleep with my wife? That's nothing compared to the tampon versus porta potty.
This was beautiful ending to the show. You will be back on my show, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Great.
Now I've done my only hot seat, right? I don't have to do the hot seat again. That's in the contract, right?
No. Every time you're on my show, you get a hot seat, bro. Yeah.
You know what?
No. You get another one.
For you, I'll do it. For you, I will endure the hot seat. We got some sadists out there, Lou from the Bronx, Courtney.
I was gonna say I'd love to get you and Lou on together.
Oh, that would
be so much fun.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna have to talk to you guys on the side.
Yes.
But anyhow, thank you to my guests for coming on and being so supportive of the Top Rope Squishy Show. Absolutely. I really appreciate you. I'm so happy I finally got you on. Again, links in the description. Mental Health Mondays. Check it out. Also, if you need help, you don't have to tell me about it. There are a couple of links in the beginning of the description. There's a link. There's a number. Don't feel alone. I'm like you. I'm riding a high right now. I'm very happy in my life. You very well know I would be very open about it on Twitter when I'm dealing with my depression. I posted a picture of myself smiling and happy, and I said, this is what depression looks like, because you just don't know what's hiding behind a smile. But I am actually in a very good mental space right now. I'm very happy. And, I'm not saying that these things last forever, because life is full of highs and lows, but you don't have to be alone when you're going through it. So people, thank you in the chat for making it so much fun as well. And as always, live on Thursdays, Love, peace, and wrestling. Stay safe, y'all. And I'm gonna end it with my music if I can get it. If I get it to run. And here we go. All right, y'all. Have a good night.
And now we move the goddess soul.